Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Sidequest. Like always, we are here to tell a shorter story than we do during our live streams. I am super excited about this. We have two people together that have not had, I don't think, screen time, just them yet. So this will be the first time we've done that, which I'm pumped for. We are going to be taking off right actually where our last live episode happened. And this is going to be odd because the Merrifield Town Hall is actually tying into this episode in a way we haven't done before because of our new, I was calling them Dime Store Adventures, but I think the Penny Dreadful series is just a better name. But the Penny Dreadfuls that we're running at the end of the town halls where you play Lysynthia Shackleford are going to tie into this episode. I think both of the cast members were there for that, so this should be pretty entertaining. But we're taking place underneath the great oak tree that is in Merrifield, but just outside the walls of Merrifield. And they have recently met the Root of Oak. The Root of Oak, Eodin, is a drider, a wolf-spidered drider. His face is more spider than human, and he was kind of a surprise, I think, for most of our cast. I don't think anyone expected me to use a drider. I've never used one before at Ethauntia for those who played, and I really was excited that the Root of Oak card got played because I've been waiting for this since like the 4th episode in Season 1. So today, we're gonna be dealing with not only Eodin, but Miss Foxglove and Voss. And I'm pretty sure I know how this conversation's going to start because somebody used some illegal magic in front of another person. Hey everybody, how we doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You got some sun there, Drew.
Yeah, I've been bouncing around a lot for work stuff. Although not this week. This week was dry AF, but yeah, so cool. Yeah, it's fine because next week it's not.
And Allie, this is right after your big show last night, running Vampire for the first time.
Everything's great.
It went fucking great. Stop it. It was a fun show.
It was really fun.
The paper cutout dolls over the background reminded me of like all the early 2000 like quick made RPG games we used to play where it was like an anime one where they would slide in. Fucking
like the flash animation
fabulous.
Stuff.
Yeah, fabulous.
You see, like that sort of video game is like a comfort blanket for me. So, I mean, what better way to get more comfortable with a new system than forcing it into the game?
Yeah. You said this is your box, bitch. Get in it.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. All the tech side aside, you guys put a show on yesterday, and you raised over 1,000, right?
I think the final count is around $1,200.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. It was a show that if you missed it, I would definitely say go back and watch it. Once all the tech stuff, just skip the tech part. Just watch once it starts. It was a lot of fun, man. The cast was Hina was a delight.
My gosh, yes.
I did not know the person. I didn't know what was going on, but that was a delight to get to watch from behind the scenes. She was a sweetheart. Mm-hmm. So, but today things are probably not going to be as nice as even they were on that show. Voss, you're trapped. I don't want to say trapped. Under a tree. Nero's lantern is sitting with you. Did you hang it on a branch? Did you stick the pike in the ground? What would you have done with Nero's lantern?
He probably would have shoved it in the ground next to him, and he's kind of just leaning against the tree.
Which spike do you all have on the lantern right now?
As far as I know, it's wood, as far as I know.
Okay, it's the wood one right now? All right. With the lantern stuck in the ground, the E for the Everston Manor prominent on the front, on the gate that would open for this lantern. Eodin leans down when you stick it in the ground really low. A bunch of his spiders that are there that he's not sent out, and all the spider webs are connected to the trees right now. Some of these purple tarantula-like wolf spiders crawl near, but they don't get within like 5 foot of it. Maybe one gets too close and backs off, but he leans down really close, and one of his appendages comes out around the oak tree over top of Miss Foxglove and taps the top of the lantern lightly. And he says, Voss, Mr. Calcor, what exactly is that contraption? The magic from it is very powerful. It smells of the ether.
It's powered by the ether, you might say. It's a very powerful daylight lantern. We use it in what we need to do and what we need to accomplish. It's a boon, to be sure.
Well, I do say you may say it's a powerful lantern, but there's something more. I can hear voices, and you see like plants have like started to move, like lean towards the lantern. Miss Foxglove, do you know anything about this lantern at all?
I certainly don't, but I'm quite interested.
I assume both of them just kind of turn and look at Voss. All 8/10 eyes with Miss Foxglove on you. Would you like to tell us anything else about it?
No.
Well, that's awfully rude.
I mean, you are in his home.
No. It's more of a protection for y'all, for you. It's a the lantern itself is it's a bit volatile if you're not aware of what it can do, and some of it unfortunately is not classified, but it's better if it's kept out of common knowledge, like teleportation magic. And he looks at Foxglove.
How would it be? He doesn't give a shit about the teleportation magic. He's like, yeah, whatever. I tree stride.
Yeah.
Why exactly is it so heavy? And you can see like it is slowly sinking all the way down to the metal. Like you put it in, and the weight of it is just sinking it into the ground. Like almost like dropping like a stone on like gel. He goes, that is not how lanterns work. That is heavier than even some of the metals attached to the roots of my oak. Well, why does it sink?
Well, I don't know, actually. I'll have to look at that.
Do you wish
Probably
to ask
just
Loretta or Nero?
Not here.
You can just touch the lantern and communicate with it. They don't have to come out unless you ask them to. Because they can see out of the lantern. If they see someone who's not a gravelighter, they won't come out.
He puts his hand on it and he's like, why is it so heavy? He just kind of says in his mind, just like, and he kind of moves it back and forth. Like,
Nero answers. Nero goes, because we're overpopulated. We're currently building residencies for them, but that surplus we took in put us over the lantern's capacity. We need to store them somewhere, possibly. And you see the light flicker when he's talking. Like, you ever like have too many things plugged into a surge protector?
Oh yeah,
that's what it's doing.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how much room is in the vault?
Which one? The one on the Whisper? The one on the Whisper can hold up to 100 souls.
That's not nearly enough.
It used to be 50. You guys expanded it to 100.
How? Still having this conversation. How many? Yeah. How many souls are we over?
500.
Capacity? You're right. That's not
technically
right
494. Everston just killed one.
Oh, right.
He was not supposed to be here. He's one of those souls that you don't send to purgatory, you dispose of. At least that's what Pyre and him said.
That makes sense. Right.
And Eoden goes, why is it so heavy? Again, like, because you've been having a conversation for a few seconds. Yeah. Silence has just filled the air. Like, I think Eoden and Foxglove have looked at each other a few times, looked back to you, just waiting. And Eoden would mention, and Voss, I need to know what your passive perception is -10.
13.
You don't hear the conversation between Foxglove and them. It is just muffled, like someone's speaking. You're underwater. You can hear voices out of the water, but you don't hear them right now.
Okay.
And Eden would look to you, Miss Foxglove, and go, "Is he talking with the lantern or something? Is he communing? Is he casting something?" And he would cast detect magic. I don't know if
close all 8 of his eyes then.
Yeah, just 8 eyes. That should be my cosplay. I should just as Eden for a cosplay. I have the beard to be a wolf spider.
Amazing.
Put little googly eyes up your head.
I'd get someone to do the really good face paint.
Oh man. Prosthetics for Halloween.
I know.
Right. He'd let go of the lantern and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's just."
If you pick it up, it feels a little heavier than normal to you, but like it's a difference between something being like a 4-pound lantern or a 2-pound lantern to like an 8-pound lantern. Like, yes, there's a difference to you. If somebody else tries to pick this up, it's going to be closer to like someone trying to use Thor's hammer.
Got it. But yeah, it's just heavy.
I don't believe
it's got,
you.
Well, no, it's an oversimplification. It's heavy. It's a fetid item. It's specialized, and part of what my job is as a federa is to make sure things are fetid correctly, and this one is kind of acclimating to itself, you might say.
And he drags a finger down the side, and the foot comes around, and he's like you see the mandibles hit it a couple times. He goes, "This lantern's very old to be acclimating still. The mold that is on some of this is easily 100 years pre-sundering. So I don't think it's acclimating still unless something's changed. I mean, we're here."
Oh, no, yeah.
And you see
something has changed.
You see peaches come down from the tree on spider silk, and he pulls one off. He says, "You're welcome to eat."
Oh.
The peaches, and they're clean, and they're fresh fruit. This is like what rich people in Cadra would get from food grown out of a privately tended garden.
I'm using the nose like this is like
they're not rotten. Right. This isn't what you'd make like brandy out of. The only thing good for bad peaches nowadays.
It's like,
oh, it's quite fresh. I grew them yesterday.
Oh, I can smell it. Yesterday. You can accelerate the growth of fruit.
I can accelerate the growth of any plant. That's why I'm here. To make sure that the town doesn't overtake the gardens and the earth and the trees that are here. As you grow,
kind of gives him a sidelong glance.
I simply move the plants from one area to another. We transplant them magically, of course.
Mate.
Yes.
Are you on Sunbury's payroll? Is that what's happening? Is that why the wine's so good?
I do work for her privately, yes. But I don't accelerate growth. I simply make sure the soil is not tainted from the tides. Those are all natural growth.
Clearly,
my magical fruit, they taste fantastic. But unless they're from this tree, the flavor is lost after a few moments of being plucked. So eat quickly.
I can eat this.
Yeah, you have about 5 to 10 minutes. And yeah, it's like the best tasting peach you've ever had. It is straight out of Georgia.
Mate, you and I are going to be good friends.
Maybe. And he taps the lantern again.
This is delicious.
Miss Foxglove, how do you know these? My understanding, you are the owners of Merrifield. Is that correct?
She kind of leans on the lantern again. He's like, "Yeah, you could say that."
I mean, I guess it was really a matter of right place at the wrong time. Traveling seemed fairly convenient to stay close by, and it seems better to do so.
Seems very convenient for you, love.
Yes, I would say so.
Dude.
All right, listen. He takes the last bite of the peach and like, "You need to keep this." Holds up the seed.
By all means, you can have it. The seeds are good for replanting if you can find something that can hold a peach tree. This tree can bear any fruit. It is literally an oak tree, which is a non-fruiting tree.
Yes. Right. So tell me, love, how exactly do you have teleportation magic?
Teleportation magic.
Just bypass the lantern conversation, circle around, talk about what's
He's still leaning
important.
on it. He's like, your owners of Merryfield's like, yeah, he could say that. And he just puts his hand on Merryfield. That's what happens.
Correct. Yes.
But yeah, so the dimension door, how do you...
I am afraid I have
what
no
type
idea
of...
what you're talking-
Okay. What speciality are you for casting spells? Are you a wizard? Are you a sorcerer? What exactly is your bag?
Casting spells. I am just a simple widow, making my way through this crazy life. I
would have you roll, but
Deception.
I don't, unless she's using a power that is the largest pile of horse shit I've ever heard from a person's mouth, short of what happened in my patron game earlier today. That is pretty good. So unless Miss Foxglove has some powers she would like to use for that.
So I'm actually a little bit interested in using Lie to Me to try to get a little bit more information on the lantern, because I think that he is also a little bit full of it.
Is this a give one, take one? Is this are you lying to me? Are you lying to me to get information?
Could be.
100%.
Then I would like both of you to, you can use your Lie to Me. Voss, you'd be using perception versus her. The DCs in this game, you don't actually roll off. So the way it works is your perception would be versus her DC for deception, which is 10 plus her skill bonus. Everything's like an armor class now in Pathfinder 2.
Got it. So
the same would be true of Voss, and you can add any abilities you want to that would modify that as well. But before we do that, I gotta ask. So Foxglove, you only have 2 hero points left. Voss, do you bring all your hero points with you before we kick into this roll-off? Do you bring a full stack of 3?
Well, no, because I only have, it's the same day. I only
Doesn't
have 2
matter.
left
It's
myself.
a side quest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take another one, so all 3.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So 2 and 3. All right. And now my question would be, we'll start with Foxglove here. Foxglove, what power are you going to use? They won't be able to see it, but if you want to throw it in our chat log, feel free. Also, drag yourselves out onto the map next to the tree as well.
Oh.
Where's the tree again?
The big brown one.
Right there.
Right there.
Boop.
That one. Okay.
The ginormous tree.
Oh, wait. This one.
Yes, the
My
big
map
one.
was not over.
Yeah, because the circle basically
one
goes like right along underneath the tree. The wall, when it comes into existence, is about 1.5 feet from the tree. Now, the pieces that hang over the wall are there, but when the wall gets taken, it takes the city. It does not take the tree with it, because the trunk is not within the wall.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna make you all a little bigger. So what are you using? Are you using the Lie to Me feat?
Yes, let me throw that in. There we go.
Lie to Me, aka the I'm so good at lying, you can't lie to me.
You can engage in conversation with someone trying to lie to you. Use perception DC. If it is higher than your perception DC to determine whether they succeed, this does not apply if you don't have a back and forth discussion such as.
Oh, you mean what's going on right now?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, what's your deception DC? I rolled a 27.
It is a 27.
It's meter beat in Pathfinder, so
Yeah.
he knows you're lying about your magic, which is perfect. What is your deception DC here, Voss?
Not much.
10 plus your
It's
total
10
deception.
plus, right? Yeah, you're looking at a 21.
Ooh, a 21. So that means I need to roll a 4 or higher on the dice.
Well, one can pray that she fails.
1.
That's a 19.
On the die. So that's a crit. That's a crit.
It is a crit.
You know that he is definitely lying to you. Not only is he lying, he is skirting it. And I think the way Voss is saying it, he's kind of bold facing it. Like, you're right, there is extra information, but fuck you, I'm not telling you.
I have not told a lie yet. I have omitted a lot of truth.
Omission is still lying. That is how it works. My girlfriend tells me that all the time. So
not true.
I agree with you, but apparently the world does not agree with us. Withholding is still omission. So you both are lying to each other. Eden looks back and forth to you, and he goes, you both seem to not actually know each other. Am I correct in saying that you are new acquaintances?
Quite new.
Yeah.
And he says that more spiders crawling. Now you start to see some blue and orange ones, and you see an orb weaver crawl down out of the tree, which are like black with like blue, red, and yellow striations, and they're hard, almost like crab-like creatures. And it crawls down and it hands him a book. And it crawls back up into the tree, and he opens it up and he goes, well, according to the family tree of Voss Calcor, his mother is the head of the Carrion Cross, currently docked in the tides of the Arcodius crater, and he like names off all of your siblings.
That's a handy book right there.
And then the other one, Miss Foxglove, your family tree is very abrupt.
Yeah, she said widow, mate.
Oh, yeah, but I can't see anyone besides the immediate people who are connected. And she mentions your ex-husband, her mother. It says, and the tree for these people all stop as well. Do you not have any children at all?
No children.
Oh, I apologize. I do not mean harm at all. Usually, even if you don't, the other people around you have family members. Why are they all abruptly stopped as well? And he will like cover Voss's half. Like he will fold like a piece of cloth over it so you can't see Voss's tree. And he shows you your tree. Doesn't show Voss, simply you. Can you explain? And it's like you and anyone who immediately touches you. And when it goes out to the next circle of people, it is just blank.
Interesting. I've not looked into the details there too much.
Do you have other people that you know that should be on this tree? We could fill it out right now. And he like reaches behind the tree and pulls a branch off and goes like this and sharpens it and dips it into the tree to write on the tree. Or write on the book. I mean, from tree sap, it looks like. Well, I could write on it right now. We could write in. Is there people who are missing?
Missing? No. No. How much is on the oleander side?
Literally, it is like anyone who's immediately connected to you. Like his mom, right? You're talking about his mother, that side?
No. The my side.
Whoever dropped you off here. Whoever took you from the Never to here as a siren.
Okay.
And then anything past that, there's like a black line that must represent the veil, and it's blank on that side too.
Okay, interesting.
So like the tree comes down and it's like the you and the mother that's over here and the husband that you married, then it comes off and there's like nothing below, it's dead. And then you over to your side with your family, you know, as it comes down, it is just like the person who brought you here in a black line in like shadows.
Okay, so basically there's like my mother, my father, nothing else.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
You may know who those people are. I'm just saying what the book shows.
Right. So she would just kind of go, well, I know that there's a little bit more on the oleander side, but I can't say that I ever got to spend too much time with them. I would be more than happy to look into that and get back to you.
Well, that's fine. That's why I've just never seen a family tree this way. As the root of oak, any hierophant, when granted their grove, is able to pull up the lineage of people that, at least if it isn't hidden, within their grove and the the tree that they're bound to. And he like taps the oak, and it like groans, like you hear the branches and stuff move. He says, I've never seen this happen. I've looked up many lineages. Everston's is quite interesting. We don't share them unless parties are interested in doing so, but I didn't know that this was a possible thing. That means that people have erased your history from the books. Rings have been chopped from the tree, so to speak.
Interesting. So would Lillian have any idea why that might be the case?
100% up to you.
She's a little surprised by this.
On both sides being chopped out, or just one, or all of it?
Just one. Just one.
Which side is it that is surprising to you?
The Oleander side.
Okay. It's chopped out. It's gone.
Interesting.
It's hidden.
Okay.
You could give me, do you have any lores?
Any lores? I believe I have heraldry.
Yeah, that's actually pretty perfect. Give me a heraldry check.
Heraldry, but not genealogy. It's what I ended up taking.
That's all right. That still counts. Just it'll be a different DC for different information.
That's an 18.
18 in total. Do you want to use your hero point?
No.
Okay. Just afraid, huh? In case you guys gotta make a will save. So it doesn't make sense to you why it would be chopped out that way. You do know there are powerful Fey-like creatures that can wipe lineage out once you pass the veil. So basically, the information that would come through the veil that is between the Never Never and the material, they can sever it, leaving it on one half. Usually this happens when you are severed from your family. That is the only thing you would know. Okay. That is up to you if you have or haven't been, because I'm not going to tell you yes or no to that, but that's how it normally works.
Okay.
They can hide it kind of like you leave, you go to the material, you are gone. You're no longer part of our family. If that was the case, though, because of the fact that your parents still show, that means that they would also be shunted. And I don't think that's the case, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not.
They can go back and forth. So he goes, well, if you ever want to research this, we could dive more into it. I would need time and the ability to use some books from the library. I see that lectorum got built in town. Is there any way I could go to that at night when no one is around?
Problem is, mate, there's never nobody around. We've got people working it. However, being of the Emerald Order, that's the building that we made, right? That's the Emerald Order building.
The lectorum is the one that was in school. That is the big library and speaking hall where people can be hired to come out and speak. The academy is different. That is the school to the north,
which is Emerald Order.
Correct. It is an Emerald Order school.
Like, I don't know about the lectorum, mate. However, the school, I might be able to make something happen. Although,
I don't have to look like this.
That would help.
But the face doesn't change too much. And he steps around the tree and comes out the other side. The Drider body is gone. He is a man in a black, nice vest with a purple shirt underneath. It's got a little bit of silver with a silver handkerchief that comes out. He wears a pair of glasses, like low hanging glasses, like half monocle or half the half circle glasses, but he still has all the other eyes on his face. That does not go away. His face is slightly disproportionate. You can see some lines, like maybe his mandibles would still come out, but he has a fey or human-like face to him. But if someone was near him, they're going to know he is not a human.
We get you a large hat, mate. That might work.
Oh, I can't cover my eyes. It's uncomfortable.
I mean, it's better than being stabbed and burned alive.
I can't see then. I need all of them to be able to see properly. I could wear a hood, but that's just as conspicuous as having an abdomen that hangs out the back.
Or 8 eyes, mate. Or 8 eyes. Listen,
I have 8 eyes. She has scales on her skin. And you can see like the shimmer of like the scales underneath from being a siren.
I'm like, oh yeah,
and you're a bird.
Yeah, but I'm regular, mate. There's other Volg around. There's not another one of you that I ever even heard of, except from books.
I haven't earned the 1,000-face ability that a Hierophant gains. For some reason, I cannot do that. I've tried many times. It's the best that I can do. Something from my curse stops me from being able to change what I look like.
You know what, mate? I might be able to help you out with that. Give me some time. I'll see if I can make you a hat.
Oh, I do like hats, but it can't cover my eyes. And like his forehead he's got like the widow's peak, right? And the eyes go all the way up to the widow's peak, and they go like two human eyes.
You ever considered bangs?
Again, I have to be able to see. Have you ever thought about bangs for your eyes?
I would if I had hair. I like bangs.
There's a flashback to Nevleen cutting your feathers over your eyes on one side. Back in New Boulevard.
Oh yeah, I do like bangs, but unfortunately they don't really work. It's not a.
She like dyed them like blue and purple and green.
I look more like a seagull for some reason.
Oh, seagulls are disgusting creatures.
I agree, and that's coming from a Volk. All right. Yeah. Let me see what I can do. I'll.
Well, yeah, he sits down in his human form next to you, which is way more comfortable than him being a ginormous spider. He's still tall, lithe. He says, and he sits cross-legged and he puts his hand up. And you realize when he puts his hand up, he also only has like one major finger and two small ones as he reaches up. He does have a thumb, and it comes down. And he has a plum in his hand, and a group of fruit floats down on strands, and a small web weaves, and there is like a hanging net of different fruits inside of this, with vines that grow down. They're still attached, so when you pluck them, you got about 5 to 10 minutes. And he says, well, back to the lantern, less about my eyes. And he looks to Voss. What exactly is it? And he grabs the ring and he tugs to pick it up, and it does not move. He goes, oh.
Look, even if I made the bigger one, I could make you a hat that was,
Are you distracted right now?
Powerful hat.
Oh my lord, he's distracted right now. He like starts turning the lantern and like trying to open the front of it.
Oh no, Voss kind of puts his hand over it to keep it shut, just like the plant blast like on the doors, like, and I can make the hat.
I just want to see how it runs.
No, you don't, mate.
There is a sound of like water that fills the air around you, like actual water. And he goes, what is this? And you can hear it too, Foxglove. It sounds like what? I think the only time you probably heard running water is when someone runs you a bath at your estate when you were married, because they were rich.
Is there a leak in your tree?
No, it's coming from the lantern. And the ground is like wet around the lantern now.
Foxglove is going to walk over, and she would like to just put a hand on the lantern, if it's all right.
I mean, I don't know if all right is it, but you're welcome to do so.
All right.
So Voss's staff appears in his hand, and he puts it against the door of the lantern. He's like, let me put this perfectly and simply as best I can. Do not touch this. It is not your property. And I will say this only once. Normally, the people that go in here have to die first. That's not a threat. It's a fucking fact. I'm trying to
looks
keep
at you like as
safe.
you're getting angry. Whoa.
Trying to keep you both safe.
Mr.
That's all I'm trying to do.
I simply wish to touch it. I don't have to open it.
He moves the staff. Don't open it.
I cast Detect Magic. What do you do, Foxglove?
I am going to cast Object Reading.
Oh, fuck. I need a will save from you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I never even thought about someone casting this spell on a lantern till now.
Roll big.
Roll big.
Oh.
Go big or go home here, I guess. Can you put object? Oh, you did put it in. Excellent. Holy shit. That
is a nat.
That's a first 20. Level spell.
That is a nat 20.
Shit. Okay, so I have two questions 34. For you. 2 questions. 1, dope. 2, do you heighten it? Is this a cantrip or a first level? If you want to cast it at a higher level, you learn more.
This is no,
because you're in downtime. I mean, this is a side quest. So like, if you want to spend one of your highest level spell slots to cast this, you're welcome to. I would, because you learn more.
She doesn't really think too much of it right now, and she does, understand that Voss is only giving a little bit of information, likely for a reason. So this is more her just kind of looking at it and being like, well, but I'm curious though, as opposed to I want to know everything about it. So we're just gonna.
You can't know everything because you can't cast a 9th level spell.
Well, yeah, but that being said,
can you cast a 6th level spell yet?
I think she's just gonna cantrip it.
A cantrip is gonna hear local event within the last month. That's a very short time frame.
Well,
remember,
object reading is a first level spell. It's not a cantrip.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Second level spell. If you heighten it to 2nd, it's a year.
Years in the second is the last month. 4th level spell is a year.
4th level is last year, yeah. So it's the last month. So remember, we do 2 weeks of downtime.
Either way, there's a lot that happened in the last month.
Correct.
Yeah, I will heighten it to 4th then. That makes.
What did you get for your save?
She rolled a nat 20.
Oh, fucking you. So, it was a 35, so thank God you rolled that. Because you got a 34, you said, right?
Right.
Woo, doggy. All right. So as you touch the lantern, everything, immediately you feel like you've been pulled underwater. And it is that scene or the side shot where it's just a silhouette of you and chains wrapped around your feet, drawing you to the bottom of like a lake. And at the bottom, there's a... And as it ripples out, you can see spirits glowing in numerous colors, which depict like their state of emotional turmoil or emotional happiness, depending on where they're at with their state of being. And then you see Merrifield appear as well around them, kind of filling in like it's loading in, but you feel the buildings load and you're in the town square of Merrifield, next to a pedestal that you've seen in town, didn't really think anything of it. Next to you, immediately, is Loretta. The same woman who told you brought a snake into my house, but she's a ghost. And she's standing in front of you on the other side of it. And like, as you are touching it, your hands are being held by hers now. Whatever hand touched the lantern, she is holding. And she goes, oh, well, hello, Miss Foxglove. Welcome to the lantern. How could I be of service to you? You prying little twat.
I'm completely caught off guard.
I would expect so. As a person playing the game and as a person in the game.
Question, what am I seeing outside when this is happening?
Her body collapses, her hand is stuck to the lantern right now, and there's water pooling up in the tree area, and Iridan has crawled up to be out of the water. Like Spider climbed up, looking down at it, as the area around it is filling like it's in a glass tube. Her, you, and the lantern are in water. It's not affecting you. Your clothes are wet, but you're not drowning yet. And it's like slowly filling up past her and like gonna eventually cover her face. And she's like half floating in the water. And Iridan's going, oh my God. You are a grave lighter, and he like points at you when it happens.
He looks up like, oh, you already know. Okay, great then. And he drops his staff and he picks her up so that she is at least
need to make an athletics check to move her.
Okay, that's not good.
It's not. Back inside the lantern. We'll get to your roll in a minute. And she says, why are you in here? You are not part of the grave lighters.
In here? You mean back in the...
When you look up, you can see you're inside of like it looks like an aquarium, but you can see the lines and you can make it out, and it looks like an oversized lantern. Like I Dream of Genie, you are inside the lantern, and all the walls are the walls of the lantern. And Merrifield is a spiritual town inside of it, with a river running through it, and that river has literally got people trying to get out of it, but the town is too full.
It was not intentional. I promise you, this is not intentional. You
touched the lantern and cast read object or some other power, right?
And normally when I do that, all that I know is why somebody.
Oh, yeah. Well, no one is to know this knowledge, and usually I keep their soul here, and they're not allowed to leave. That's what prying eyes and thoughts get you. Can't pick her up. It is like a boat anchor on her.
I'll spend a hero point.
She's like, so what exactly is it you wish to know so bad, Miss Foxglove?
It was just simple curiosity. And
curiosity killed all the cats.
Nat 20.
You can keep her head above water. You will have to roll every round. I will give you 2 rounds for the crit.
It's a 29 athletics.
So, what do you wish to know? Let's get you your knowledge.
I was just wanting to know what?
Yelling at her, wake up!
You hear, it's literally underwater. You hear a noise, but it sounds like someone like hitting the side of like a glass of water. You hear
Do I see anything that appears to be outside?
No, not from where you are in the center of the town. No, you're in the center of the lantern. You literally are where the wick in the lantern would be in the physical space. You are at the wick, and the wick is literally where the pedestal is in town.
Super duper. Okay, cool.
So she asks you one more time. She squeezes your hand tightly. Like one step from if she squeezes harder, it's gonna break something. She leans in, and her face goes from the elven maiden look to this gaunt spiritual green essence. And she leans in close enough that if you could smell underwater, you would smell her breath. What do you want to know, Lillian Foxglove?
Look, they disappeared, and then he was keeping information, and I don't particularly enjoy having information kept for me. I really do regret my actions, and I am very, very sincerely sorry. I completely trust you. There will be no more prying. Let me know what I can do.
You've already looked down the barrel of the gun. The bullet is coming. There's no leaving now. So what do you want to know before the end? What do you want to know, Allie?
I just want to know where Bartleby is.
Oh, Bartleby? That's a really good question. Unfortunately, this is a pocket dimension, and a pocket dimension inside of a pocket dimension means he's shunted. Did I mention there's a large anaconda around all of you under the tree? I forgot that.
Luckily, anacondas are fine in water.
Well, he's outside because it's like a shield around it, so he's crushing in, and Iridan's like, there is a snake, and all of his spiders go back up into the trees. Including him, and now you just see the 8 eyes in the tree outside of hopefully the reach of the 20-foot, 40-foot long anaconda. You have her head above water as I'll let Allie think for a minute about what question is really important enough to die, because that's what she should be asking right now.
Lillian, wake up!
I will give you a second will save, Lillian, if Voss can keep your head above water. You keep her head above water for 2 rounds. Do you have any other plans on how to keep her head above water besides that athletics check that you probably won't be able to roll again?
Is the snake inside with me, or is
it's outside of it, like it's a bubble. And it's wrapped around it, trying to crush its way in to get Lillian. Its head's probably its mouth's big enough to encompass the top of the bubble. I swear to God, if he swallows the bubble with you guys in, anyway, I do not want to do that math right now.
Fuck.
Do you have any spells?
That are good for this.
I don't know. Are they good for this? It's a really good question. You never know what's going to happen in a side quest.
Hang on a second.
Well, I'll go back inside while you're deciding. She asks you again.
No, I have a question for you.
Okay, what's your question?
Is she under the influence of a condition right now?
Drowning.
Is that a condition?
I am filling her lungs with water. That is what's going to happen. If her head goes below water, she's going to start drowning. She doesn't have the condition yet because you held her head above water. It technically is a condition, yes. Because a condition is basically anything that affects you. Drowning is a condition.
I'm going to. Oh, it's only certain ones. It's
so
either
back to what I was asking her.
evil,
Continue
or
reading
stupefied.
Yep.
I was going to try and cast restoration on her to bring her out of it.
So she asks you.
The only thing
in close. What is your question that you're so willing to pry into death for?
I thought it was a simple teleportation spell. I just wanted to know how it worked. It's not worth dying for.
Well, then she goes, is that the only question you have in the face of death?
Lillian has so many questions now.
Well, then ask away before the bullet hits, lady.
What is the bullet?
Me.
So you're going to kill me now?
I'm going to keep your soul in purgatory, yes.
Okay.
As knowledge for Allie, the player, there is no purgatory in the world. And that is why souls roam the material plane. There's nowhere to go. Right. And she's saying she's going to keep you in purgatory.
Okay. What would you like from me? Is there anything that I can do for you?
Oh. That is not the question I was expecting from such a greedy human, Siren. Yes, there is something I would like. There's a sword that was broken by me recently. And you see an image. You can see up to a year back with your spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a scene of them, and the water like hits you hard, and there's like your ears ring, and you're standing on the rooftop where the garden is on the Everston Manor. And she is standing next to you, still holding your hand tight. And you can feel like when she loses her grip a little bit, there's a current that grabs your spirit, but she doesn't let go.
Okay.
And that draw feels like it's like drawing you somewhere. And she holds on and she says, I want that. And there's an image of her snapping this weapon in half and tossing it aside. Now, you have not seen, I don't think, that blade yet. But she's like, that. I want that.
Do you know where it is?
I'm assuming one of the people who are tied to this lantern have it. I need it. We need more space.
Okay.
When it flashes back outside, as the water is filled up, you're holding her head up. It's like up to your neck as well as you're lifting her out of the water. Anything you want to do, Voss? Iridan's like, what do you need? What do you want me to do?
I don't fucking know, mate.
He goes, what about the snake? Whose is that? Where the fuck is that from?
Again, I don't fucking know, mate. I'm assuming it's hers because I saw it on the ship. Hang on.
Can I kill it?
I'm going to, no. A 23 medicine check. I'm going to do a compression to push the air out of her lungs and then let go so they fill up again. And then I'm going to pinch her nose and her mouth.
Okay.
Because I can
giving
feel
her as
the
much
weight
oxygen
coming,
as you can.
And I know I'm not going to roll another nat 20 for my athletics check.
Okay. So give me a medicine check. That is very smart. You will buy her
23.
some time.
23.
23.
Nice.
Allie, I need another will save from you as well, please, while you're inside of the lantern to resist being drawn in the current. It's a little lower because she's holding your hand.
That is going to be for will. That is a 29.
You're perfect. You're fine. Almost crit it. As she's holding your hand, you feel confident that she's not going to let you go until this conversation's done. The water, whoosh, covers her head. What was your medicine check, you said?
23.
I will give you 3 questions before your lungs fill with water.
Okay, beautiful. First question is going to be. Oh, okay. Sorry, this is Allie as a player going. Okay, so she has basically said it's one of the people tied to the lantern, which I'm going to assume means one of the people in the party.
That would be a good assumption. Everston is the one tied to it the most. He literally pulls it out of himself.
Okay.
Because he has a chest cavity that the lantern hangs in.
Right. All right. So if it's one of the people tied here, you know all of them. Can't you just ask for it?
No. They don't want me to have it.
Why don't they want you to have it if it is necessary?
Okay, that's your first question. So she says, she goes, that sword is tied to the Lady of the Tides, the Keeper of the Tides, the Dragon of the Tides. That sword I broke to save my son against my better judgment. We need it to empower this lantern. We are running out of space. And when she says that, there's like another one of the boom, and you feel compression, a combination of Voss and the water compressing you. And you appear back in the city outside of the Everston Manor. And she said, next to the pedestal, and she says, they made a deal with her. I don't understand what or how or exactly why, but I need that sword to give the space we need for this city. When she waves one of her hands, you can see it is overcrowded. People are on top of people, souls on top of souls. And they are like single filed line. There are Earthguard here going, all right, everyone. And all the Earthguards that are waving their hand have like little green bands on their wrists. Like, everyone line up. We will find you a space. There's some areas to stay outside over here, all the way up to the wall. We know it is crowded. We are doing our best. Please, one single file line. You see people, the main street that goes through Merrifield is now a river, and people are literally walking out of it like the River of Styx.
You obviously do.
I need space, and that has the power to give me space.
I completely understand. I can see why you would need it. All right. Well, it sounds like you need more space and not another soul here. So...
your soul doesn't get to stay. I would destroy it if you don't. If you don't make it out. There's no space. Anyone who's fed in here right now, I'm just simply destroying it. I have nowhere to put them. That line over there is for permanent death. And she points to a line of people who think they're going into a building.
Oh.
Womp womp.
Oh. That's not Lillian, that's Allie.
And you do see Everston also walking around in the city asking what's going on in the distance, but she's holding your hand. So you can't walk over to him. But he's like talking to another man in really nice armor with a huge a staff on his back now, not a sword anymore, talking to him about, he's like, I know it's overcrowded, and they're having a conversation right now.
Staff might look familiar, actually.
Yeah, the staff looks exactly like Voss's. You just saw it block it. It's recent enough, there's no roll required for that. It looks exactly like Voss's staff.
Very interesting. All right.
God,
how do I get this?
Is there anything else before I kill you, or are you willing to do this?
Of course I'm willing to do this. Now, what is the best way for me to get this to you?
Well, bring it to the lantern. That's all I need. My connection to the outside world is a lantern. Or you are staying in my house. There's another and a ripple. And inside, you are in a hall. And it's a long hallway. There's a bear, like stuffed bear behind you, like a large taxidermied animal. There are taxidermied weird, like triple fin sharks on the ceiling. And there is a wall with guns mounted. And on each side, there are weapon racks. She's like, or you could put it in there. That would give me access. Since you're in my house, that might be easier than getting near the lantern. They're very protective, as they should be. The fact that you even got to touch it means it's time for me to have a conversation.
Understood.
Anything else?
Fettering lore of a 25, can I try and pull her back out into her body?
You can. It is a fettering check to do so, to pull her back out. It is a very difficult check to do. If you use salts, I would highly recommend it. Okay, basically, each level of salts adds a +1 up to a 5. I know you have sea salts on you right now, and I know you have Nodaric salts on you if you're willing to waste that.
No, the Nodaric
salt. To me, that's
is
a waste. To save a person.
I only had one. I only had one.
So you have sea salts and holy salts.
I do have sea salt. Which
sea salt's a +2. Table salt,
holy
sea
salt's
salt.
a +3.
Only versus undead and demons.
Undead. So it'd be sea salt. Okay, I'll use that. So, actually, I would let her float in the water, not on the ground, because it's a spiritual lubricant in this sense.
If you put it around her or on here, there's a chance that she won't sink, but she's still going to go pull in her water. It's something physically pulling her.
Well, no. I'm trying to.
She is gonna sink. You are not stopping it unless you use an athletics check. Something is literally yanking her under, like grabbing her face and dunking her in the water, and it ain't baptism.
Well, that's what this is actually going to look like. I'm going to turn her over and pinch her nose, like I said, and push her down to the ground, and then pour salt around her and do this. That's
all right. Give me a fettering check. This could end the conversation, so it's important if you do this.
I'm using tools.
We've never had anyone fetter in this fashion before.
Terrible.
All right.
Because I do not want a natural 1.
Oh no!
He just drowns her.
Been horrible.
And Allie, make a new character. I'll contact Todd to make more art.
Okay, that is because I'm guessing my oddities doesn't work for this, but the +2 replaces that, so that's a 42.
You yank her out of it. You see the lantern shake. Inside her, she loses her grip as you get pulled away from her, and you get pulled to the front wall of the inside of this lantern, and you feel like you get it's like falling downstairs or getting slammed into something. There's an extreme pressure, and all of a sudden you are coughing up water in your body again. And the water sinks down, and what it really is doing is draining up into the lantern.
As I feel her start to move, I'm gonna help bring her back up so she's on her feet.
The water is gone in a matter of 6 seconds. Down a drain kind of feel.
Lillian is going to gasp for air and just completely shocked look at Voss, and she's just going to say,
"You all right?"
Voss, you can see Loretta's hand on her face slowly fade.
Oh, I see. Right. Not gonna let anybody touch this anymore. You cast a spell?
Maybe a little bit. So you wanted to know about teleportation.
Allie, I would say that from the point in time that they had the lantern out, you would have seen all of that 1 year of history on your way out.
Okay.
So anything that you've watched on the stream that was around the lantern, you have that knowledge.
All right.
Including what happened when all the souls got slammed into it and you were outside the train car being like, what was that?
Yes. Now you know where all the souls came from that overpacked it.
Alrighty.
And it already had souls in it when they got it too. It's always had people in it. So Eodin slowly climbs back down in his human form. And
is Bartleby still there?
Yes. And he is wrapped around, and as soon as she comes out, it separates her and wraps around you in the lantern.
Bartleby?
It looks back to her as you can start to feel it constrict.
Whoa, mate.
Eodin goes, can I kill it now?
Your life.
Bartleby, no.
No, hang on.
I unfortunately am going to need you to give me either intimidation or diplomacy roll, Allie, against your familiar. You've never had to do this before. He has always listened to you, but your life was in danger, and this looks like food, and yeah.
All right, we're going with diplomacy.
Give me a roll.
Okay, that is a 35.
He lets go and he coils down and he leaves a gap around his body and Voss and the lantern so you can see his beak and his head, but he does not move from the area. And his head is over you like a shadow.
Bartleby, this is a new friend of ours, okay?
Friends don't drown friends.
He was not.
I didn't drown him, mate. I saved her life. Now let me go,
from the outside,
please.
it looked like you were dunking her to drown her.
Yeah, from the outside, things look pretty fucked up anyway.
I will. And he like slowly uncoils and like crawls around her as like a shield.
Thank you.
Eden goes,
brings his staff to his hand.
I have more questions now than I did when you got under my tree. And as he says that and he crawls down, there is a like noise of wind, not the noise of the water that rushed, but the actual noise of wind in the area. Voss, do you have any dark tide knowledge? So what if you don't have lore, you can use arcane or religion, or unless you have something else you want to use.
Yeah, no, I'll use arcana. And I got a 30 arcana. I rolled a 15, so.
Okay, so you know that strong winds is the equivalent nowadays to when tides are at high or low tide. Strong winds carry the tides in far. The Arcotis crater does have a ton of the stuff in here, and it has been highly active. There has been more tides in there than normal because there's been winds off the coast dumping it in here to where it's only maybe a foot from the edge, when most of the time it's like 40 foot low.
Got it.
As the tides come up and you see them crest in the distance underneath like the little bit, because you're sitting on the ground where the tree branches have grown down, there's a little gap. You can see tides rushing in over Merrifield.
Tide break. Got it. And I'm gonna run towards the two of them and the snake. I'm like, don't move.
Oh, you don't even have to go far.
Grab the lantern.
The sanctuary is like 15 foot out, I believe.
Okay, and I'll point to
Eden.
Eden, what? Mate, get in here.
He's like, well, what are you doing? So when you do it, that same water passes over everybody, because we never used sanctuary yet from this thing. A thin veil of water passes over everybody. You all get a little wet as it encompasses you and the wet, and you have a small greenish sparkle, like glow to your skin as it passes through and goes out to 15 foot. As the tides wreck through, Eodin comes down to get into the bubble, and it passes through the tree. And he's like, that shouldn't happen. Does? The tides pass through the tree, and they hit your bubble and break around your bubble. The bubble flickers, and the lantern's light flickers. Normally, that only happens when something's a strong tide, more powerful than the light that is being expelled out. That green aura, Eodin gets in, but you see hands with claws on Eodin. As he passes into the light, the hands pull away, and you see yellowish glowing eyes outside around the tree. He says, move, can you move closer to the tree? The trunk must be in this.
Yeah, move in, and I'm gonna yell, yeah, is Poppy left, right? She went back to the town.
Poppy went to the wagon, and you hear a scream out in the distance. And gunshots.
Poppy, get to the tree!
Would Lillian be able to move and still be...
You're within 15 foot of it. I would definitely say put your python away, though, or he's going to be outside of the... Your bubble's going to be real cramped.
Oh, yeah, pet cache, for sure.
Okay, so you pet cache him. Eden is in. Some spiders have made it in as well. And they're all crawling into a small, like, hollowed-out gourd that he has.
So within 15 feet, can I get a visual, like, basically open the door and get a visual on Poppy?
Open the door? What door?
Or, well, you know, like, get to...
If you are looking through, it is pitch black outside of the 15-foot bubble of light. because the tides wash over it, and you see floating yellow things moving through the tides. It is pitch black. If you go out into the tides, you could go try to find her. You know she's probably, I would say 40 foot. The wagon's parked here on the map, just outside of the wall ends here. So the wagon's actually probably about right here. So probably about 25, 30 foot from the base of the tree. You would have to go 10 foot out of the sanctuary to get there. You could take a regular daylight lantern and walk out. You could risk that, hope that the daylight lantern that you have is strong enough to push the tides away. But I can tell you that the Nero's lantern is having a hard time with it. That could be because it's overfilled. That could be because the tide's really strong. Unless you go out in the tide, there's really no way to know that. And I need a religion check from everyone inside the sanctuary as we close this out.
It's a 21 for me.
Okay. What's
that
Fox?
Is a 30.
You hear that cackling of a woman in the distance, and the sound of those things floating as they hit against the daylight lantern, the sanctuary. You see these stretched, elongated faces and long teeth and like dripping yellow, black orbed eyes. And like when they raise their hands up, the hand comes up and fingernails follow for like a foot. These emaciated things with almost pot-like bellies. You can see faces pushing against the skin on the inside of the stomachs, stretched. Immediately, Voss, you recognize these as the same things you fought on the ship. And you hear the cackle again. And I will definitely say that Miss Foxglove knows that this is an ether witch. You've been trained. You know what they are. You know that they are elven creatures that take the souls of mortals and put a little piece of a soul from someone into a dead body to animate them. And they become hungry for souls. These things are called ether ghouls. They're very dangerous and they're very contagious. You hear Poppy scream again and more gunshots go off. This time you can see the flash. It's about 5 foot outside of the bubble. As it flashes, you see 3 of these ghouls jump on her as she is fan-firing a revolver into them. As she falls backwards, Eodin goes and reaches out, and he shape-shifts into his full form and puts his leg out into it and draws her in. When he does, things grab onto his leg and start pulling. He severs his own limb with his mandibles, pulling Poppy in, covered in bite marks. And I will end us there for our side quest. To pick up in our live show right where we left off here. Party divided. A woman, a small halfling, a literally family member to the Hastings through marriage, bitten. Eodin is bit off his own leg, which honestly is probably not the biggest deal for a druid. You know about the lantern, but you don't know what a gravelighter is, but the word has been spoken to you, Miss Foxglove. And Eodin knows exactly what is in front of him. And he is helping at all cost to make sure that Voss and the lantern are safe. So a nice little hour and 11-minute episode. Clean, concise, and probably packed full of more information than any side quest that we have done to date in a season and a half. Allie, welcome to the show as a permanent cast member, your first permanent cast member side quest. I know Allie's going to have a ton of questions, which I'm assuming my Discord will get filled for in the next 5 minutes. As we wrap this up, you're watching this on Tuesday. I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for following what we do. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. When we hit 1,000, I have something special that's going to be given away. And same for our Twitch channel, Eric Frankhouse Presents. If you are not following that, please click the link below and follow. And of course, we have our new War Lantern patches out as well. So if you haven't picked one up, they're glow in the dark, 95 made, season premiere. He has his number 24. Allie's is on the way. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to the cast. I know this was a nice little tight show, but I wanted to put 2 of you in a room. Well, in a tree room, a tree house, One of those things? In a grove? In a grove. I wanted to put you in a grove for a conversation, especially about the fact that she knows teleportation magic. And we got to find a way to get her into the Gravelighter's graces. And now she's got to find a sword that I think Voss actually is the only one who knows where it is. So, thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. And as always, beware, or the tides will find you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I am super excited for this rest of the season. Allie, Drew, thank you for joining me today. And we will see you all next Tuesday. Next Tuesday for a one-shot. I don't know who's playing, but running a one-shot. And I'm going to announce it actually today. I am going to run a one-shot of fucking stay tuned and find out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you in our next live show. Hey, everyone, look up. Thank you for watching this episode of Sidequest, and we have something special. The Season 1 WARLANTERN patches are finally here. Glow in the dark, only 95 limited run. It comes with a card of authenticity, and we are excited finally to have it in our store. Link down below. And remember, like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, because when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we have something special to give away.